Behind me is the first real sign residents of the Magic City have seen of flood protection. This project was a priority in order to make sure that the water supply for this entire area remains safe in the event of another flood. I made some new friends out here. This is Stella and Kitty Cat, and I'm out here with their trainer, Steffi. What do you put in yours to make it so award-winning?
Was that your question?
Maybe a little bit. I'm hunting for secrets here. So it really just is a totally interactive experience. Hi, Tyson. Oh my God. Just in the last 5 to 10 minutes, the Minot Police Department's bomb squad has sent the robot in the house. Now this will confirm to them whether or not the man that they think is in there actually is.
Oh. You're not supposed to have that kind of a...
Okay.
Come on.
Definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've got a little bit of everything all around me. We've got Superman over here. There's a furry over here. I've got knights and villains, all kinds of cool people. Historically, Native American veterans live in rural areas like Rowlett County. Today, several of them were here at Turtle Mountain Community College to speak with Senator Heidi Heitkamp about issues from housing to health care.
Welcome back to the Noon Report. Now, we're clowning around a little bit here today.
Call it a landmark day for the city of Minot as the first flight leaves the brand new terminal. Good evening, I'm Kaiti Firkins. Residents of the Magic City will hit the polling stations tomorrow for a special election, and it may look like a blast from the past. There's a push to change the structure of the city council, but before they can do that, voters have to approve 2 changes in the city's home rule charter. New at 10 tonight, Minot police arrested a man for murder connected to a stabbing today. At 5:39 this evening, police responded to a call at 2022 4th Avenue Northwest in Minot near the Dairy Queen. It happened in that upstairs apartment. According to police, a 28-year-old man was found stabbed to death. They immediately began questioning one person. And I'm Kaiti Firkins. Thanks for joining us. Gas prices in North Dakota are at the lowest since 2004 at about $1.64 a gallon. While it's good news for consumers, low prices have had a negative impact on jobs and the state budget.
Last month, Bakken crude sold at $20 a barrel.
March of 2002 was the last time we saw Bakken crude at $20 a barrel. So the big question is, has the price hit rock bottom? West Texas Intermediate is currently selling around $33 a barrel. Bakken sweet crude is 15% lower at $28. Eugene Grainer from Heartland Investors says he thinks prices are going to rebound. A reason why has to do with the value of our dollar. Although there is optimism the market could turn around, right now low prices are having an adverse effect on the state's oil industry. Now, while I didn't catch that fish that I was holding on to, it was so fun to hang out with those guys and something I can definitely cross off my North Dakota bucket list.
Katie, what was it like walking on the ice? What
Not as scary as you would think. It's pretty solid, the snow out there, because there's nothing to block the wind. So there's just wind and snow like blowing all over the place. But we didn't hear a lot of cracking or anything like that. So it was good.
Part of the Peace Garden experience.
Exactly. It was really, really fun. The flood protection timeline is complicated. For the city, its 15-phase, $1 billion project is going to take more than 20 years to complete.
We haven't been just sitting around since the flood trying to decide what to do. There's a lot of planning and design that goes into a project of this magnitude.
It's a tremendous challenge on a day-to-day basis to try to figure out where the funding is going to go, how much funding we have, where we're going to get new funding, and then, you know, to balance that against all the other needs that the city has.
But if done properly, people in Minot will see a major impact.
If we can complete the first 4 phases of the flood protection and then construct some tieback levees on either end to high ground, we could essentially remove about 60% of those properties from the floodplain.
Design, funding, and environmental impact studies tie up projects for years, and the city says they understand the frustration this can cause.
We really do understand, even though I think sometimes people forget that, because we do have a job to do also, so it does make it difficult sometimes.
What the city and Souris River Joint Board are working on to protect the area doesn't include the $74 million Minot won in the HUD Resiliency Program to improve infrastructure, create resilient, affordable neighborhoods, and diversify the economy. If the flood proved anything about the Magic City, it's that it can come together and accomplish anything.
10 years from now, the folks in Minot will look back on what they've done as a result of all the difficult times that we've had, whether it be the resiliency dollars or the downtown infrastructure or anything else, and say, you know, it was all worth it, and we made it happen. So I think Minot collectively will be able to take a step back in a few years from now and say, the city didn't do that, we did it, because we're part of the community.
Meet Nellie. Nellie and this group of kids are headed to Grand Forks this weekend to compete in the Lego robotics competition. Each one has had a role in perfecting each piece of the robot, and it's not always been easy.
In the first one, we had weight problems with the robot. The axle in the robot was being bent because of the weight. It's kind of frustrating at first because we kind of all have different opinions on what we want a robot to look like, what achievements we wanted to accomplish on the board.
They come to the Minot Public Library from all across the city and work together to get Nellie to run through a course and complete a set of tasks.
One of the challenges we're getting to do is getting our robot to the factory and pulling the lever and pushing the plane back to our home base, which is the only area we can actually touch the robot.
And while the robot is the flashy part of the competition, there is some on the team that worked hard to research ways to help recycle paper to save trees, and that presents its own set of challenges.
It's been fun, sometimes complicated, sometimes kind of you have to like find the stuff, and it's not always what you think about.
But no matter what the outcome, these kids have created what they say is a family.
It's been awesome to be part of a team and make new friends.
The commercial is almost more well known than the product itself, but do the claims hold up? This week's Don't Buy It Until We Try It puts Flex Seal to the test, and it was quite a process. Check it out.
Water damage can cost you thousands, and unexpected leaks can destroy your home.
Yes, leaky roofs and bathtubs are annoying, but we all know that this is what makes this product so intriguing.
We replaced the bottom of this boat with plexiglass, drilled over 100 holes, and covered them in Flex Seal Clear. Not only does it stay afloat, but Flex Seal Clear keeps all the water out of the boat.
I couldn't get my hands on a boat to float down the Souris River, so we shrank it down. Could this mesh strainer be sealed to become our boat and float in this mop bucket lake? It would take a couple of days before we could find out. Several coats of the product needed to be applied, and it's kind of a mess. But finally, we were ready to try it. All right, so I've put paper towels in here that will show us if there's any leaks in it, and our passenger in our boat is going to be this tennis ball. So let's see if it works. And I won't lie to y'all, it did not work the first time. Wait, the handle makes it really heavy. No! But once we sawed the handle off and tried again, we got it. Our boat was floating, but the bottom filled with water slowly. So I'm gonna have to give this one a... And I definitely wouldn't get in a boat sealed with this stuff. Now I will say on a smaller project, it would probably work great, but for the sake of the segment, it was go big or go home. Good evening, I'm Kaiti Firkins. Thanks for joining us. Joe is on assignment. Only 2 in every 100 Boy Scouts ever receives the honor of the Eagle Scout Award, and one incredible Minot family we've been following for the past few years now has 3 in their household. Their oldest son, Austin, already earned one, and yesterday afternoon, the Arts family gathered to honor twins Nathan and Eric in their achievement. But after tragedy struck the family last year, the ceremony became as much about remembrance as it was a celebration. Eric and Nathan Arts grew up doing everything together, and scouting was no exception. That journey began in the first grade with Tiger Cubs Pack 412 and reached a milestone Sunday afternoon with the presentation of the Eagle Scout Award for Eric and the Spirit of the Eagle Scout for Nathan in front of a crowded church sanctuary.
We've had a lot of support, but it's good to know that people care for you in the time when you need them the most.
When Nathan was 14, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, but he never let that stop him. Even through treatment and doctor's appointments, Nathan worked on his Eagle Scout project, a blood drive. But he lost his battle with cancer at just 16 years old before it could happen. So his family continued his legacy by organizing the hugely successful drive, making both Nathan and Eric eligible for the Eagle Scout honor, something Eric says they always wanted to do together.
It's been a bit hard. I wanted to do this day also for Nathan, and I want to serve his life the way he would have served mine. But I wanted him to be felt in this room, like really felt with everybody. And I wanted to do my best job for him.
The church was full of teachers, leaders, friends, and family that had been touched by the Arts twins and the difference those boys made in each person they came in contact with.
For them to lose their brother was not only emotional for their family, but extremely emotional for our troop as well.
It's the connection that Nathan had and everybody had to Nathan. He truly... Nathan was very focused on his faith, and his community.
For the Arts family, Austin, Eric, Bob, and Brenda, it was a wave of emotion that brought tears but also smiles.
It was mixed emotions, but we're so proud of Eric and what he did today and what he said. And I could feel Nathan's spirit. He always had the biggest smile. You'd never see anybody with a bigger smile at all times. And the energy that was packed into him, it was always the first one in the room and out the room. And yeah, he was full of energy.
Nathan was wise beyond his years. He left letters of encouragement and love for the people he cared about the most, so even in death, his words were at the ceremony, reminding everyone in the church that he was loved and happy and at peace with all he had accomplished in his short life.
Through all my struggles, I always loved. Through all my challenges, I knew. Through all my disappointments, I believed. Through all my life, he knew.
Nathan chose a blood drive as a way to give back after all of the transfusions he had gone through in treatment. The Arts family says it plans to hold the drive every summer in his memory.